Hey everyone, it's Milo here for the Fellowship of Acoustics. Welcome to a new episode of New Arrivals. Glad you're back here. As always, we're going through the store. We're going to find our 4 favorite new guitars that came in this week, and they're all in these racks right here. A little bit empty, but there are some unique pieces in here for sure. And then it's up to you to pick your favorite of the week, and you can leave a comment down below in the comment section or also vote in the poll in the community side of our YouTube page. Last week your favorite was the 018. It was a 48. I said 47 a lot, but later we found out it was a 48, but that was your favorite. And then we also asked what your favorite type of green was. So my favorite type is olive drab. I know Laura behind the camera is not a fan of olive drab. Olive drab, British racing green, pickle rick green was in there, or any other type of green, and British racing green won. So the people have spoken. I don't think there will be any olive drab in here today. But let's dive in right away. We're going to start out today with some funky electric guitars. I think that will be a nice change. We're going to start with one from 1993. This is a Rickenbacker 650S Sierra, it's called, from 1993. Isn't that a cool look? Laura, what do you think?
I think it's cool.
It is funky, right?
Yeah.
So we have a complete neck through construction, a maple neck that goes all the way along the body here. As you can see, some gold hardware, and next to the maple that goes along the body we have a solid walnut on the sides here. Laura, can you see yourself? There you are. I think these are toaster pickups. I think this is just a amazing looking Rickenbacker. I think Rickenbackers are cool anyway, but this sort of Sierra 650S is one of the coolest Rickenbackers I've seen. I still don't know what the model is with the longer horn. If anyone has that out there and you want to get rid of it, then please bring it to our store because I really want to see one in the flesh. Okay, Laura, follow me. We're going to the photo studio. I'm going to grab a pretty sort of square looking case. I promise you, you probably will never have seen an instrument like this. So we're going from Rickenbacker to Mosrite, another funky brand as well. This is a 60s guitar, I will say. It's called a mellow bar. No, you're not having a stroke right now. This is what it's meant to be. The mellow bar was an invention by Walt Smith in the 1960s, and he went over to Mosrite to have this invention of his built. And he wanted to have a blend between an electric guitar and a lap steel, and this is what you get. So sort of the playing part is angled at a 45-degree angle, so that when you're playing it standing up, you can play over the neck right now. There's also some music theory to help you out on the fretboard. And he wanted to work with Mosrite because they were producing really high-end guitars at that time, and he also really liked the Mosrite pickups, so that is why they worked together. When the first Mosrites rolled out of the factory, Walt Smith also went over to a lot of bands. He was living in California at the time. A lot of bands in that area to give them the mellow bar. So the mellow bar also popped up on the albums from Jefferson Airplane. It was also said that Brian Jones from the Stones also had a mellow bar, and he passed it on to Jimmy Page. And I read somewhere that Walt Smith got a call in the middle of the night from Jimmy Page asking him how he should play the mellow bar, which I think is pretty funny. Most of these came in a sunburst finish. I'm not sure yet if this is one of the original, I think 67, 68 batch, could be a little bit later. But there are only a few that were known to have the blue finish, so I think that's pretty cool. If you count the holes here, this is to be used as a 9-string. There are 6 on here right now, so there are 3 tuning pegs that aren't used. I read also somewhere that there is a 10-string out there as well, so there are a few variations. What a cool instrument, just to show you. I can't really play it right now. It has this tuning, which is really a lap steel kind of tuning. We are going with a funky electric. We're not going with the Mosrite, unfortunately, because I can't really demo it for you. But we're going with the 650 Rickenbacker Sierra. I think it's just a really cool guitar. What kind of case is this, Laura?
A Carlton case.
What? These cases are so sturdy. Also, if you're living outdoors and have a truck, you can safely travel with your guitar. We have a Kevin Ryan Nightingale Grand Soloist. Another beautiful Kevin Ryan. This is not a 25th anniversary. We also have a 25th anniversary with a beautiful sort of Alaskan blue Sitka top, which was incredible sounding as well. This is a second-hand one from 2022. Kevin Ryan called this their most versatile guitar model. We have a European spruce top on here and a incredible quilted mahogany back and sides. This is a really cool look. We don't see enough quilted mahogany, I think. I want to see it more. I think it's one of the most beautiful looking tone woods out there. Of course, we have the extra sound ports as well as all the extra cosmetic details. You can really spend a lot of time watching this guitar and still find some new details. I think this rosette is beautiful as well. I don't make it a secret that I'm not the biggest fan of the Kevin Ryan sound in general. I know Koen is, he's one of the biggest fans. Mostly they don't really move me. It's not really my type of guitar, but this one really does. I think this is the best sounding Kevin Ryan that I have ever heard. And this really moved me when playing it. I think it's a beautiful sound. Also in the drop D, it sounds really wide and full. I'm really charmed by this Nightingale. But we're going to compare it to another boutique guitar brand. A special release by Bourgeois. This is a new signature guitar by Bourgeois for one of the biggest country stars in the world right now. This is a Bourgeois Luke Bryan limited model, limited to only 30 guitars, and this is number 4 out of 30. So there's a story to tell with this guitar, because Luke Bryan has a ranch out in Tennessee. And there are a lot of black walnut trees out there. And more than 10 years ago, Luke reached out to Dana Bourgeois, saying that he had a lot of black walnut trees and that he asked if that would be a viable tone wood to make guitars out of, right? Yeah. Black walnut. Dana said, sure, I think that will be great sounding guitars. And so they searched the premises and found the best looking trees out there. They cut down some of the trees, and then the wood was cured in Dana's workshop for more than 10 years. And now they are making some limited models out of these trees. I think this is really special, to have your own signature with trees from your own ranch. I think that's really cool. So you see it right here. This is black walnut back and sides from the Tennessee ranch, the Luke Bryan Tennessee ranch. We have an Adirondack top on here, a slope shoulder design, as you can see. On the label, on the inside, there's also, it's hand signed by Luke Bryan himself. It says Flint Rock. I think that's the name of his ranch. A really cool looking guitar. There's also another piece of wood in the case. You get this with the guitar as well. Flint Rock Farms, Tennessee. Also signed by Dana and also by Luke Bryan. Also the antlers that you see here also come back on the fretboard and also on the headstock. I hope this sets a new direction for signature guitars. I think it would be a nice change to see people using their own trees in their backyard for their signature guitars. Let's check out how this sounds. Really punchy sounding guitar. The walnut also reminds me a little bit of mahogany in a certain way, maybe something to do with the mid-range of the sound. It has a nice bass head, but not too much. I think it's a really cool guitar. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of the Kevin Ryan, the Nightingale sound. But seeing the big audience that Luke Bryan has, there are certainly people out there watching this video right now who are big Luke Bryan fans. And this is a limited model, and I think the story is really cool about the black walnut being on his ranch, the Flint Rock ranch. I think we're going to demo this one, but a huge shout out to that Nightingale Kevin Ryan, because I think it's a stellar sounding guitar. But we're going with the Bourgeois Luke Bryan for our signatures. Let's check out this Gibson case. This is a collector's choice Les Paul. Ooh, wow. That is a beautiful looking burst. Check this out. Nice flame on the top. This is called Gabby. All the collector's choice Les Pauls get a name, and this one is called Gabby. The first owner of the original guitar that this was based on was really precious of his 59 Les Paul, as you can imagine. And he went over to Gibson to get an appraisal on his guitar. But Gibson doesn't really do appraisals, so they sent him out to somebody else. But then they saw how pristine his original 59 Les Paul was, one of the cleanest that they've ever seen. And this caused quite a stir in the collector's market. And then this guitar became known as Gabby, standing for Gibson Appraisal Burst. And now we know it as Gabby. Luckily, the original owner then gave the guitar to Gibson to have it inspected and to have it measured. And then they make a copy of it that's as accurate as you can possibly get. So this is as close as you can get to the original guitar. So you can see there are some playing marks here and there, a broken knob, a little dimple here, and definitely some scratch marks here on the back. We've seen a lot of these 59 Les Paul collector's choice guitars, and they are stellar sounding guitars. So just know that this is on the website. If you are a Les Paul lover, a 59 Les Paul lover, then go and check it out. Let's move over to another Les Paul style guitar in a beautiful case. This is really nice. I really like this. Feel this, Laura. As you can see, a Nik Huber. We're going back to the anniversaries that we featured in the last couple of weeks, but this is not a TFOA anniversary, though it is a 25th anniversary. Because this is a 25th anniversary for Nik Huber. And look at this incredible striped maple top. It almost looks like it's one piece. I don't think this is book match or anything. Incredible finish. Flame maple top, also the flame maple binding here. Then a flamed mahogany body, which is a little bit thicker than most of the other Dolphins. So this is more like a Les Paul thickness. We have a Klopman humbuckers, which are amazing sounding humbuckers as well. And these knobs, these are really cool. Wooden knobs, octagonal or whatever they are, but really cool design. Also look at this Madagascar rosewood neck with a satin finish, which feels really nice. You get this mother of pearl sort of purfling also on the fingerboard, which is a cool look as well. Just a really classy guitar. Sort of a mix between a Les Paul and a Tele, maybe. So that's the second sort of Les Paul style guitar of this round. There are some others that I want to open. I might choose this one as our third choice, but let's see. Then there's also a new release by Eastman. A new series. It's a collaboration between Eastman and Kaufman, of which we are also a dealer. We offer Kaufman guitars in our store, and now these are D'Ambrosio Eastmans, but then finished and relicked by Kaufman. There are three models, a classic, a deluxe and a vintage. And this is a classic. Ooh. A butterscotch blonde. A nice look. The Eastman D'Ambrosio shape, as we're used to. Quite a heavy relic on here. Also the fingerboard has been worn down. Also with the D'Ambrosio how do you call it, Furtzone neck pocket design. So there's a lot of sort of contact area between the body and the neck to give more sustain, more projection, more resonance as well. That was a classic. Now we have a vintage here. In a beautiful vintage white. More a Tele style. This is always a cool look. It's just a little tweak, but a neck Tele pickup with the open pole pieces. I think that looks really cool. Another really heavy relic. I think Kaufman does a great job at that. A roasted maple neck, it seems like. I think we don't have the deluxe yet, because this is another vintage in a faded Pelham blue with a vibrato arm, more of a Strat style. It's almost like a little bit of silver coming through here. Really nice. But I think we're going with the Nik Huber. Only for the case already. This is just a really cool case. But the Dolphin 59, I think this is a beautiful guitar. We're going to feature this as our third choice in these new arrivals. Let's go. Finally, a vintage Martin. This one is pretty old, 1911. Whoa. This is a 017, a beautiful parlor guitar, really lightweight. Mahogany back and sides with a spruce top. Later, the 17 series became known for being all mahogany, but this change happened after 1911. So this is still an 017 with a spruce top. I think this is a new bridge. It is a pyramid bridge, but in 1911 it would have had a long saddle. So this has been changed. Beautiful slotted headstock as well. A lovely intimate sound, quite a strong bass response for a small body, which is really nice. Also as a solo instrument, I really love this a lot. And also to know that this is from 1911, which makes this guitar very, very old, 115 years. Incredible. Let's see what else we can find in terms of acoustic guitars. But this is a real contender for this round. This is a guitar from our friends over at Guitars Guitars. Acoustic Excellence. This is a traditional OM. Ooh. Have a look at this. Beautiful traditional OM. This is a second-hand one from 2023, but it looks totally clean. We have a master German spruce on here, and then we have a type of rosewood, which is called Palo Escrito. We have a Mexican rosewood. As you can see, it's a little bit of a lighter color compared to usual rosewood. Also is lighter in terms of weight. And Guitars is one of the brands that really uses this in steel string guitars, though it is mostly used for flamenco. This is a really dynamic guitar. I really love the sound of this. It has sort of a bouncy feel to it when playing. A lot of bass end as well, projecting a lot. Lovely sounding guitar. Really different compared to the 017, completely different guitar, but beautiful sounding nonetheless. This makes it a pretty difficult decision for our fourth choice. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful look. Also with the herringbone, the diamond inlays. A wonderful, wonderful guitar. But does it stack up against a 017 from 1911. Seeing that you mostly really enjoy vintage Martins, I think I have to go with a vintage Martin. But again, a huge shout out to this good old traditional OM, as well as to the Kevin Ryan Nightingale. They might not be new arrivals this week, but they are a really great guitar nonetheless. But we are going with the 017 from 1911 as our fourth choice. Alright guys, that was it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the guitars that we've chosen. And please let us know down below in the comments which is your favorite of the week. And also vote in the poll in the community side of our YouTube page. I think we had some beauties in here. I really love the Rickenbacker. It's the most affordable one of the bunch, but I think that's my favorite of this week. Also wanted to mention that we still have a winter sale up until the 20th of February. And so please go check out the deals online, up to 50% discount. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.